Going live. Yes, we are live. Welcome to the Three Marketeers Show. Now, this is where we go back to the basic. That's why we have our fourth marketeer here today. Yo, Chiwai, put our hands together to Chiwai. Okay, and
Our
if this is the
silent
first
fourth
time,
marketeer.
yeah, this is our fourth marketeer. Now, if this is the first time you see us, right? Okay, thank you for tuning in. Whether you are watching this on Facebook or my YouTube channel, this is the Three Marketeers Show. What we do is, yeah, this is already 26th episode. So what we do is every Wednesday night, we come together. I mean, basically, it all started between me, Andrew, and Manfred, just three of us, right? That's why we call it the Three Marketeers Show. But eventually, we wanted to expand the universe a little bit. That's why we started inviting, like good friends like Chee, Jin, Jason, and all these people to come over and share with us one specific topic every week. So this is where we discuss about Facebook ads. You see, basically, although we started to expand our universe into digital, the other part of digital marketing like Instagram, like we had Kenny talk about it. We have Google search, covered by Jason. But fundamentally, four of us, we have one common so-called trait, which is we are all Facebook advertisers. So that's the reason why we want to come back to our very basic, because it's 2021. I think a lot of people still find it kind of like, okay, now it's 2021. What is going to happen in Facebook advertising? So this is really, a very dedicated episode where I just want to bring three of my good friends together, okay, to discuss. So I'm Jason, I'm your host, and we have our co-host here, Andrew, Manfred in yellow, and we have Chee. So, okay, what do you think when it comes to Facebook ads in 2021?
Let's ask him.
Yeah. I mean, we start with the guest. You're here, to be bullied.
Let's put him on the hot seat.
So what do you think in 2021? I think there are different people talking about this, especially or there are certain people also talking about iOS 14 is going to hit Facebook advertising. Do you think Facebook ads is still going to be relevant? What do you think?
Definitely going to be relevant. In fact, we see a trend of Facebook spending rocketing. At the same time, even though within Facebook itself or even other social media platforms, we see an upcoming trend or even extreme traction in terms of live stream. As in, you can see, when you scroll down news feeds, you can see a lot of people doing live sessions, promoting their products or whatever. And there are a lot of companies whereby they engage all these live streamers to actually promote their product for them. Either they use a proper like a marketing team that purposely do live sessions, or even they engage KOLs or influencers to actually push their products for them. So due to the fact that this is a new norm, whereby face-to-face meetings and live concerts are now all in streams. Even live concerts, they are all by artists, they are all in streams right now. And so you can see that live streaming to promote their products or services now they are gaining popularity. It's just no choice. So we as digital marketers, we just have no choice but to consider these as part of our social media strategy as well. So yeah,
live streaming.
But that's part of the thing. But when it comes to live streaming, right? I mean, put it this way: I'm a person who I do live every week. Like sometimes I can do live every day. Every day. Yeah. Most of the time I do every day kind of thing. Sometimes most of the time in my private group where I run my courses and all that. But to be frank, I don't really consume Facebook Live on I don't know about you guys. I am that kind of person who cannot really sit still and consume Facebook Live. But I do agree with Chee that yes, Facebook Live is really like gaining traction. Not just Facebook Live. Like the other day when we were having Jamie, she's also talking about Shopee Live, Lazada Live, where this is a kind of like a way that people are engaging. But how does it work together with Facebook advertising? What is the thing that we should be looking into? Like, let's say if you talk about a company that is doing live and all that, okay, like I advise some of my clients and coaches before, let's say, okay, when you do live, and then you need to retarget certain people to come up to a certain percentage, maybe like, let's say if you do a half an hour live, okay, you want to set up a custom audience of people who watch up to 25% at least, okay, to be retargeted. But here's the thing. When a lot of people are doing live out there, right? I do not know lah. For our kind of live, that, as in like our live viewers are not a lot. But I mean, to a lot of people, they pull in the way they pull in live viewers. You see, I want to comment on this. Not everybody, but of course. But a lot of people use all these lucky draw, baits and all that to get people to come in to watch until a certain extent.
In a certain way, we get our people who comment now. Those people watching, hi, can you comment something so that our video will pop up in your... so
it's kind of a thing that they do, right? Can you comment? Can you share with your friends?
Hi, you see us, right? Can you comment, say hi?
But does it work? Does it work?
Ask them to do it, you will find out already.
Yeah, I mean, and certain people, we also know that I kind of like heard that, when they are doing live, right, in a way they are getting other people to, it's kind of like you can pay people to view. Just kind of like a way to help you boost the numbers and all that. But how do we, it's like a lot of people came to me and said, how can they monetize their Facebook Live and all this kind of thing? That's kind of a thing that although it's getting traction, yes, I have to agree. But also, the other thing is how many people really have that kind of like interest to really watch live for up to a very high percentage. I can't. Maybe it's just me. I'm the kind of person who cannot stay on the live session for a long time.
But some people might want to listen. You turn on the laptop or TV, you just listen to it while doing your stuff.
I think, I don't know. I mean, now that I'm doing a lot more content production on Facebook. I actually spend less time on Facebook as a consumer. I think as if you produce content, a lot of Facebook advertisers or well-known ones, they don't spend a lot of time on social media. They put content up, of course, but personally, they an hour at most a day.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you say you pay somebody to watch your live, I think Facebook Live is just another so-called platform or modality where same thing like you post the content on Facebook. You just want to get likes and all those things. But my question is, what's the purpose of doing live?
That's what the next thing is. Yeah. I mean, exactly. I mean, like I would think that if your live doesn't serve a very strong purpose, right, then I think it's a lot more difficult for us to really like monetize it. Like we have ST over here. ST is saying usually people watch with lifestyle interest as content. So like things like us wouldn't be something that is more lifestyle. I think it's what do you categorize us to be? I mean, like the Three Marketer Show is Chee, you follow us almost every week. How do you consume? Do you really watch until the end?
Because Chee cannot,
or you just listen to it.
Chee cannot sleep. He needs something to make him sleep.
I make it as my commitment to learn something at least 1 hour, 1 hour per week to consume content to get myself in the know of what's happening in digital marketing. I not only consume, the Three Marketers Show. I consume Jason's Sunday. Ask me Sunday night.
AMA, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I just make it as my commitment to actually learn something. Because
I really appreciate your commitment, man.
usually on daytime, all my time has been given to clients. Everyone wants a piece of my ass. So I don't really have a certain time for myself, like as in for my own knowledge or reading. So because I don't really travel on public transport, so I don't really have time to actually read. And if I were to road, then I'll be on the road. So you can't consume any proper content. So this is actually my me time, when it comes to learning.
You listen to Spotify. You just listen to some of the podcasts also can. That's another way.
I'll fall asleep. I'll really, really fall asleep then.
Really? Podcast, you fall asleep? I do consume podcasts though.
Yeah, because watching, like you guys, so it's actually really engaging. Like, okay, real people behind the screens. Sometimes they'll shoot you back questions when I ask things. So it's a two-way thing. So it's not just a one-way thing.
So just trying to make it lively, or else it's very boring, right?
I mean, digital marketing is boring to a lot of people, to be frank.
But to be on the honest side, probably there are certain sessions which may or may not necessarily super interest me. Like for example, LinkedIn. LinkedIn really. So never mind. Probably I don't like die look at the screen, but at least I listen first. I do something, at least I listen. Oh yeah, really, yeah. Then after that you come back to the main screen and say what the special guest have to say. So yeah, I mean,
looks like we're gonna up our game in terms of content generation, man, Jason.
You mean okay? It'd be good if I can get more people like Chee lah. Else,
you see, like let's say when you're talking about live streams of pushing products and pushing services, then after that, okay lah. In Malaysia, we have recently King Chao Go is very 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 hot. King Chao Go is selling cars. Come on, like how many of you guys are going to buy your Land Rover or your AMG through your live stream? But whenever he's doing live stream, we are talking about 2,000 plus people minimum watching live, 2,000 plus, and then after that he has reached to a point whereby other companies like I think it was ViewNet, I can't remember, it was certain IT companies and certain glasses, optical brands engaging him to do live inside their retail shops.
So it's more like a KOL kind of thing already. Meaning
you end up doing like a KOL already rather than a sell car, car guy.
Right. But it started as a car seller kind of thing lah. Like our friend in Singapore, Mai Yu Ge also.
Yeah, Mai Yu Ge, Wang Lei.
Mai Yu Ge is also, the guy is also like the selfish guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's more entertainment, commerce kind of fusion already. You got to be entertaining in order to get people to.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's just like, and not everybody, not any Tom, Dick, Harry can come out and do live lah. That's the thing. Of course, I personally went through going live. It freaked me out at the very beginning, but of course, you kind of get used to it and all that. But I agree with you in that sense for this topic that we're talking about. Yes, I do agree that live stream will get more and more traction. However, what I really, kind of like concern is how does it? Definitely, I would agree that we will push businesses. But I think a lot of businesses out there, when they're doing live, right, they really need to look at how can they capitalize on the viewers to move the needle for the advertising part. Because the content is one thing. You cannot keep bringing back the Geng Chao Go or the Mai Yu Ge coming back to your page and do that kind of live. How much can you pay these people, right? Like the other day, Manfred, you were saying to get a Mai Yu Ge to come live, how much?
Well, not cheap.
5,000 Sing.
I think more than that. I can't remember how much already. But in Singapore,
100,000 Sing.
No,
5,000 or 10,000 Sing or something like that.
I can't remember exactly how much, but just to sidetrack a bit, there are Singapore fishmongers, they do it themselves, no?
Right.
They film the fish product, then they will deliver to your house, no?
Actually, God, Malaysia also a lot. I watched that.
Live, then people beat, then I was thinking, wow, up to that kind of standard. I think one thing, try to learn from the best. When I say best, I think the Li Jiaqi, the lipstick one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that one.
I know that.
You try to watch him, and
dude
try to
who does
get
lipstick thing.
Yeah, because he does sell over the counter, He years.
He or she?
He's a he.
Li Jiaqi. Try to get
it's a dude selling lipsticks.
Lipstick. I'm trying to get his format, but later then realize that basically he's so passionate, he's so good at selling.
Right.
She can make the ladies dream, as in associate, if you buy this lipstick, you will get this kind of lifestyle. That is, wow, I don't know how to learn that, seriously.
I don't think that's learnable lah. I think of course it's trainable, but I guess it comes natural.
You see, that's the highest standard I think you can achieve with you. There's one version he versus Ma Yun, see who can sell better. Of course, Ma Yun lost. Really got such an episode.
Lost until very clean.
Serious.
The way he sell, wow, I also glue to it. So I'm
really
trying to learn from.
So you bought me for your wife?
I didn't buy. Lipstick is something. You must understand. Lipstick is something. Even times are very bad. Women will still buy lipstick.
But now you cover with mask, while you still buy lipstick, man.
You got a point also.
You wear mask already, or you still wear lipstick?
They,
then
they
you do
will,
what? You
they will still.
mask,
They always think like dresses itself, lipstick. Unfortunately, today we don't have a lady.
Necessary accessory.
When you link back to the lipstick guy, we also have to acknowledge that this guy is in China. So when he goes live, right, the live mechanism in China is definitely different from what we have in Facebook
totally
and Instagram, because they have a lot of built-in mechanism that can really help those people, which is these influencers, to sell. Which I want to bring back to the next topic that we have over here, which is, when you talk about all this live and all that, which I want to relate back. How do you think that Facebook is going to move to help these people? As in, like, since now you say there's so many people going live on Facebook, sell car also have, sell fishmonger also have, macam also have. So do you think, or have you seen any topics, or have you seen any tools that Facebook might be doing to help these people sell? You don't want to tell me Facebook shop, Instagram shop. I think
Facebook needs to learn from the Chinese social media people. I think because they're well integrated with mobile commerce. I think one of the
just one app only, one app.
Yeah. So a single app that allows you to watch live at the same time do commerce. I think Facebook needs to catch up as far as that is concerned.
But back yet again, come back to this thing. Do you think Facebook would go really mainstream in commerce? I mean, we all know that many years back, they actually built or created something that's kind of like going into the commerce market and failed. And then they created marketplace, did not really work really well. Of course, certain people make some money out of it, but no. And then when it comes to Facebook shop, I mean, I would say Facebook shop does work to a certain part, but when you are missing payment,
that's why I think if they have to get the payment side done, which is what the Chinese social medias are doing very well.
Yeah, because for China, right, when they go live in those platforms are really built for those kind of like so-called the live commerce or social commerce. Where they have a lot of tools to really build in to help you do even inventory and all that, which I believe, I never experienced that, of course, I cannot say for sure. But when it comes to our part of the world, right, Facebook doesn't seem to have a very clear direction in terms of this area. So I was just thinking but of course, we do know that there are certain tools coming up, as in like third-party tools. Okay, I've heard somebody who have built some tools that can actually allow you to, when you're doing live, right, one button to really facilitate the payment or, even up to the shipping part. So in a way, you're still relying on the third-party tools.
For now.
So that's the thing that I can foresee. But what do you think? Commerce? Will Facebook really go big in commerce? As in like, Facebook shop, Instagram shop, or even this live commerce coming in, which is something that
looks like the next frontier to me.
Well, last time when people actually want to sell in FB, they have to go to those groups, community groups and whatever, and do whatever they want to sell there. But Facebook is
gonna kick out by you break the rules.
But Facebook is actually trying to limit these kind of posts within groups and force them to use either to shop on the marketplace instead.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
You mean buy-sell groups stop working, or in a way they have limitations now?
They are trying to push or force the users not to be able to sell their posts inside these groups, but instead use proper channels, aka or marketplace or shop. I mean, if you have a page. But what if let's say I have a used pair of shoes. Used pair of shoes, they will try to push you into using a marketplace instead of using, let's say, groups. Because I'm sort of a car guy, so sometimes if you look at car modification parts, so you hang out in a lot of those groups selling their parts for my particular car. But then again, nowadays you can see less and less users selling those their parts inside these groups, but instead pushing inside marketplace already.
But yet again, marketplace, when you have a marketplace that you cannot effectively, can we run ads on marketplace at the moment?
No,
not really, right?
I don't see any placement for marketplace.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Manfred is a better person because you have been exploring marketplace, right? In the past few months, right?
By the way, if you post something like earbud in the marketplace months ago, months ago, still got people come and look for me.
Out of all things,
one post, earbud, as in you buy the wireless earbud. Months ago, still got people come and look for you.
Wait, after you have sold it, you cannot remove the listing?
No, actually, this is because this is you got a lot of stock, I'm surprised, because I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people posting. I'm not
So
saying
what do you
that.
think? What do you think? What is the thing that makes yours surface or searchable or found
I think
by
it's
these people?
the engagement. Engagement. I think there's an algorithm. So sometimes, even though the new one is right at the top, but people who get engaged with.
There's an algorithm for relevance. And most of the time, by default, relevance, the item goes on the top first, regardless of whether the timing of the posting, I mean, like the age of the product.
Wow.
So then after that, you see, if more than a week ago, then you know this one is an old item. Probably, I don't know whether the item is still there or not. Then after you can filter, and then after that, most listed first. Then after, probably you see a new product first.
So same thing for Facebook Live. If we have 100+ viewers, all the viewers, please say hi. You want this one? You want say A? You want this one say B? And keep commenting. A lot of interactions. Then Facebook will believe that this is a popular show that more people need to watch. You should understand their objective. They wanted to keep people engaged. So if they found a rare gem, they want to pass it on to a lot of people. Correct, no?
Yeah,
so you see, I mean,
engagement. I heard about that.
That's one of the reasons I don't like to do, like content part on Facebook. Okay, the first thing first, one of the reasons why I don't like content is because all this algorithm is so unpredictable. Like, for example, you talk about marketplace, they say that, like what Manfred said, few months back, that listing will still get you. But how can we play around? I would, the reason why I actually drop everything and focus on Facebook ads is because that's the only predictable thing that I can get when it comes to, I can spend money and I can tell my client that confirm sure got result, instead of going and tell that, wow, I will get likes, I will get whatnot engagement for the long term. And another thing you have to remember, when it comes to Facebook, same goes to Instagram. Okay, there is no mechanism to help you really, what do we call it? The content on social media doesn't have the so-called the longevity. It's not like YouTube. It doesn't like, okay, Manfred is a rare case lah. Manfred's earbud is a rare case.
The marketplace is a
different ballgame, right?
That one is, I'm also surprised to find out that.
Yeah, maybe that's a rare scenario that you hit some algorithm freak, that actually bring you back and all that. But most of the time, right, even though today you have a post that has thousands of engagement and all these likes and all that, there's nothing you can do. Even you want to carry the audiences forward, that's the maximum 365 days that you can retarget them. That's it. First, this is the thing. There is no way for you to, reproduce the thing. First thing first. There's no consistency. And there's no way for you to really like effectively monetize in a way that post that has got hell a lot of engagement. So that's one of the reasons why I stopped doing management altogether. I say that the page management, the content, all that.
We have talked about this before. For top of the funnel, normally there's 3 ways. One is video. Video, obviously, we'll talk about YouTube, where people do a lot of content. This is also a video also on YouTube. Okay, when people watch, people will take action or we try to do retargeting. And the other one is some people don't watch, some people read. There are people who constantly read blog. But that one is quite painfully you have to create all the content. Okay, and lastly, the least effective way is to do organic social media, Facebook posts. I'm not saying it's useless. It can do some help. But I think in terms of effectiveness and in terms of cost, this one that is the top of funnel. Then when in the middle of funnel, where you do retargeting, when you touch my website, touch my Facebook, touch my IG, I got my chance to attack you by advertisement. That's what we are very good at.
Yeah, true lah. That's what we are very good at lah. And the retargeting
top of the funnel is the one that you spend the most of your money. Where your video, you must do your YouTube. In fact, recently, Kenny, the IG one, I think really must do also.
The IG thing.
The IG thing.
But I still cannot brain.
Also,
we have another IG person coming in.
Equivalent to writing in blog also.
Yeah, that's why. Wow,
still struggling with that.
IG definitely need to learn. That's why I'm bringing a master in the next week to talk about IG, and she has a framework to really do this. At least we can go through training to learn this thing. But yeah, we have a question. Chee, why are you so excited about it? Okay. We have a question from Gamer Scroll. Gamer Scroll asks, okay, Facebook group versus Facebook page. Do you think business can benefit more for community building via group instead of page? Good question. Okay. Okay, what do you think? I mean, before I chip in my thought, Andrew just started your group, and then obviously
you advertise, confirm me a page first, but
what's the question? Facebook group, do you think business?
Yeah, and Chee mentioned that he is a car person. Obviously, you join a lot of car groups. Do you think, coming from a business standpoint, that Facebook group helps compare to Facebook page? Community building via group instead of page.
I think it does. Because
you're talking advertisement on group.
No, but the idea is to, same thing like when you do emails, you want to segment your prospects. So if you're talking about, let's say, cars, you want to talk to people who are really interested in cars. So the only way to move them from page is to go to the group, and then you can engage with them on that content. The page is basically everybody can see. But the problem is you don't know who is engaging with you. So when you move them to the group, then you can do whatever you want within that group. So you have maybe a group for cars, then you have a group for car mods and all those things. And each one has a different set of interests. And if you want to do any commerce or whatever it is, then you can target this way.
Guys inside this groups. I mean, I do have friends who are in this industry, whereby they set up, instead of setting up or even being active inside their business page, they created a separate group, same branding, but all their stuff are all through inside the group instead of the page.
Correct. The page is good enough. It's good because you want to run ads only. Other than that, honestly, who visits the page in the first place?
But who visits a group?
No, group because it's topical. So if go back, if you have interest in lipsticks, for example, you'll be talking to the group, or you'll be looking for groups who talks about lipstick and nothing else. But if otherwise, how you go? It's same thing where you congregate where your audience, or so-called congregate where your interest is. But you want to talk about poker, you go to a poker group lah.
So in a way that you agree that the business can benefit more for group lah. I mean, via group instead of page.
Yeah.
I'd say, in my opinion, I think both has to have a balance. But of course, you cannot just do the same thing on both page and group. Like if you observe, right, my Facebook page is very much on the community building, and I use that to run ads, and to really run ads for my courses and all that. Now, on the other hand, right, my Facebook group, as you can see, is really to really fit content on whatever I posted on YouTube. And if there's anything I learned in the past few weeks, past few months, because I started this group only in last year, July or August. So now we have just crossed 1,000. If there's anything I learned is, I realized if I am able to build a community from those people who are higher quality, which in my opinion, at least those people who have went through certain learning with me, I'm able to do better. But if you're building a group that is going very general, which is very much similar to your Facebook page, right? I think the impact may not be as powerful.
Yep. It has to be very narrow.
Yeah, I would agree with the segregation part that Andrew mentioned just now, where your group is really for the people who are really into things that you're talking about, so you can fit higher value content in it.
Yeah,
it's kind of a thing. But thanks for the questions, Gamers Grow. Gamers Grow has been following for a while.
The group itself is more for many-to-many talking. Page is more for the brand to tell you, I got this product launching at this timing. Go to this page, something like that. Announcement where I wanted to know what's the latest course. Page will be the ideal place.
It's like similar to what last week, Emerton was talking about Emerton was talking about the LinkedIn thing, the LinkedIn page versus LinkedIn profile. So kind of like similar thing. You need to have a balance between these two presences, And I would not agree that you just mirror the content on both sides. It doesn't serve a purpose. So why would I want to go to the group instead of a Facebook page? And since two things are the same, why would I want to do that? That's why when you have more presences, more work. Agree or not?
Yep.
At the end of the day, you'll be like me, every day go live. What the?
Wow. So for me, I'm reserving most of my content for the group. The page, is basically just to invite people together to the group.
Slightly more exclusive or even more driven down to that.
And you have to be aware, when you're going live on Facebook group, right? You can't really retarget audiences because you can only go live as individual on Facebook group, not as a page.
You can go like a page.
Now, when you do, you go live directly.
Page
but when
as
I
a
do,
profile. Page as a profile.
Page and profile.
For mine, right? And when I go into Facebook group, I can only go live as a profile.
Oh, I can go as page.
Maybe your eCam is different lah. For mine, I can only go in as profile. So I lost the retargeting purposes over there.
I see. Oh, I haven't tried that. Maybe next week I'll go with page and see. I mean, the feature is there. I've not actually tried it yet.
Yeah, because for my case, I can't. So if you talk about retargeting, then maybe if you're doing the live thingy inside the Facebook group, then you because there are many tools, man. Like for example, the tools that I'm using, which is a StreamYard, I can only go live in group as my profile.
Oh,
I cannot go live as Jason Gunn Facebook page.
But the main thing is the group itself, you can't do retargeting, even though the group belongs to you.
Unless you share the page, you share the content from a page into it. So that's the thing.
People touch that thing.
Correct. So if you want to do that, then you have to go live on your page. Then you share that into the Facebook group, which also defeat the purpose, right? That's why I never share my 3 Marketer show into any of my groups because if you want, you come to my page. That's why it's a different kind of segmentation.
Can do an announcement You can make an announcement to tell them once in a while it's okay because some people might be existing in the group but not active.
Different engagement, I would say. Group is more for I would agree that Gamer Scroll just brought up another one. It's like a middle funnel. I agree. Group is more like a middle funnel, and in fact, it could be a bottom of funnel as well because my group. Over these 1,000+ people, at least more than half of them actually went through learning with me. So this is not just middle; they are the bottom of funnel. This is really
your customers already.
Yeah, they're my customer group. It's kind of like the customer group. So depending on how you want to group that, so you got to be really careful because the moment you leave a group dormant for a while, it's damn difficult to revive the whole thing back. It's not like Facebook; you can run ads to re-engage these people, right? To boost to people who like your page. But for group, if you build a group that is that you do not know what to do with it,
it's like a party lah. If the party got hot girls, everything got drinks and everything will be happening. Suddenly nothing happened already. All out already.
As in everything in life.
So that's one of the thing because group is not as straightforwardly. See, I also heard that certain guru would say that group is better than page. Only if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, makes sense.
Only
agree.
Yeah. Only if you know what you're doing.
True.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Now let's move to the next topic.
Let's go.
By the way, guys, if you're watching this live, I can see quite a number of people who are still here. If you have any questions regarding whatever topics, because this is just 4 of us coming in and just share our thoughts on Facebook advertising or largely the Facebook marketing in 2021 about things that may come, things that may happen. Want to share with you our thoughts, 2 cents. 3 cents, 4 cents, or whatnot, So if you have any idea or any things and any topics you want to bring up for discussion like what Gamer Scroll just did, post it in the comment so we can actually bring it up and expand the discussion. But this is something.
You just want to say hi, drop us a message also.
So that Facebook will pick this up as something that people are interested in.
You hi to me, I will hi to you also. I will hi to you. I make sure I hi to you.
That is why when I watch this every week from Facebook, I will spam the like button, just spam the like and the love button.
Thank you.
Really? Hey, so guys, spam, hit the like button just for the sake they know Chiwa is not doing his job, so you gotta help him.
Jason, that's the problem with people like us who spend money to run ads and all those things. So we really suck in organic.
Yeah, in a way, yes. Because to be frank, not to say we are stuck in organic. I don't like to do something that I can't predict the outcome.
Yeah,
it's not our ball game. We don't spend so much time on organic. You should see the one that I follow, this Eric Feng. I tell you, his organic one.
I'm a total newbie when it comes to organic.
By the way, come Manfred, do your job. We're hi, Siobhan. Hi.
Hi.
That's my friend. You say hi back. You gotta hi back. Hi.
That's my friend actually.
So cute. See the family. Okay. Thanks. So yeah, you're saying.
It's conversational, conversational commerce.
Okay. Back to the topic. We're talking about conversational commerce. Okay, this
You're
is a topic
saying that it's popular in Philippines, right?
Yeah, I was in this morning. I had a coaching call with one of my coaches in Philippines. She said now currently in the market in Philippines, a lot of people are running so-called courses or training to teach people how to do conversational commerce. Because I don't know, it's kind of a thing. But I was just telling her this is really something that is fading away in Malaysia. I'm not sure about Singapore. Why? Because you see, many years ago, in fact, as the social commerce started, PM became the thing. You know, everybody just type PM, and it's kind of like the start of the journey. You know, to become a customer. However, if there's anything I picked up last year, among a lot of my students that I have, right, a few of them are actually conversational commerce. Why? Because like there is a couple that sells jewelry. You know, actually, back then, right, in last year, they were still having about 80% of their sales coming through messaging. And you have no idea.
Facebook
Instagram Messenger. Facebook is part of it, but Instagram more. And can you imagine when
DM,
this couple go vacation, they are not having their vacation at all. They were glued to their phone and reply because this is all business. So they have been working very hard to shift to the automation, which is using the website to buy and all that, which last year it happened. Last year, because of we call this the accelerated digital evolution, where because of MCO, people stay more time at home, people start exploring, learning the right way to buy online, which I believe, which is going to the website and buy. It's kind of like people are getting more educated, and the last time I spoke to him, he was saying that now about 50 to 60% of the sales are coming from the website already.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which is a good shift. Else, I tell you, you have no bloody life.
You're stuck
really
to the phone.
No life. That's why
you can
this
still
is really
engage someone to do it.
But yet again, that's kind of like you have to engage someone to do that unless you are big enough.
And then how do you share the messenger connection?
So at the end of the day,
some people direct message. I have a friend who sell what you call that miniature plants.
Bonsai.
Not bonsai. What's the word for it? Colorful. His brand is Roselet. I can't remember. I'm not into this thing. You see, he take a lot of photos in IG, and interestingly, people direct message. I want to buy this one. Just send it over to me. I pay now your money to you. Just Instagram straight away. There's business. Okay. And the funny thing is, Chinese people normally don't buy this. Chinese people it's other
so
races.
You're saying that it's still working. People, of course, I do believe there are still such commerce going on. But I was just thinking that would the trend be going down already? Because I think people are getting more and more used to buying in the proper website and all that, or even at least e-commerce marketplace lah.
Messenger,
like Shopee, Lazada.
Messenger, I think it still work because some people may not have credit card. Some students may not have credit card. Some mates are trapped in Singapore, trapped inside the house 24/7. Not supposed
but
to.
But even you talk about credit card, that's probably Singapore's case lah. But for Malaysia, you don't have credit card. At least you have online banking. At least because most of the e-commerce, so-called the payment gateway can support online banking. Even Stripe supports online banking. I'm not sure.
You can also do online banking as in transfer. I'm not so sure about the foreign workers or mates in Singapore, but we have quite a sizable number of people. That's why marketplace is quite popular for them. But back to one thing about this conversational commerce. I just met a vendor this week. I am very surprised actually. He is heavily concentrating on Facebook Messenger. You know what I'm saying? Or how many times I run Facebook Messenger? I think I use one hand also can count. So that's why I'm not very familiar with. I didn't spend so much time on Messenger. But the interesting thing is, he actually used this to find out why people don't want to sign up, why people don't want to purchase.
How does it work?
So to really talk to the people. And,
you mean like
talk to people, and also got like scripts up. Say example after
chatbot stuff.
Chatbot. After 5 minutes, you don't want to click the thing itself, then they'll come and message. So they'll constantly revise the thing. But what actually caught my all these things standard is that when just like WhatsApp Messenger in Facebook WhatsApp one as in when you send out the number, the person must press and talk to you, then your number will be seen, right? Same thing for Facebook Messenger, which I clearly remember that Facebook Messenger, you talk to him, that's all. That's all. You only can see the person's profile. You go and see the person's profile. He has upped his game to some mechanism. able to see your contact number and email address, which was quite an eye-opener. I don't know how on earth you do that.
Is it legal? I don't think it's legal. I don't think it's legal.
I don't know. Maybe one of these days.
Because the user himself has to opt
interact,
in and give you instead of obtaining the other way around.
You see, even opt-in also, right, when it comes to Messenger chatbot, because I have built several Messenger chatbot, even a lot of them are actually still active until now. I've been observing. You see, after they introduced the 24+1 rule, the chatbot thing kind of stagnant, you know.
Yeah.
You know what? Because before this, you can still do like what Manfred was saying. If you don't reply after a certain while, I prompt you again, you know, and I prompt you again and all that. But the 24+1 rule break everything. Why? Because you can only send promotional messages up to 24+1 hour after they opt in. So when I opt in now, right, until tomorrow, you cannot send me any promotional anymore, because the moment I bloody report you, you die. Your whole messaging ability of your Facebook page go kaput, you know. Seriously, that bad.
Yep.
A lot of people came to us and asked for help. So that's why.
That was when?
Why conversation? I mean, the 24+1 rule came out, I think, about 2 years ago.
2 years ago. 2 years ago. Yeah. I sort of gave up.
1 year plus
I was definitely playing with chatbots at one point, and when the 24+1 came in, I sort of gave up chatbots. You know, I was doing stuff on Mobile Monkey and all those things. Then it wasn't very effective. There were too many restrictions, like, you know, you cannot engage and all those things. So I dropped that.
Yeah. Even you do broadcast, right? You have to tag it as non-promotional, and when they pick up as promotional, also kaput.
Correct.
Too many rules.
Yeah.
That's why at the end of the day,
once your FB page gone, then you headache. I tell you.
That one is not just headache. That's the end of the day, man.
Yeah.
Imagine you have tens of thousands of people. At least, I mean, like a lot of my clients has hundreds of thousands of followers. That one cannot don't play.
So what happened next? After that, did they give up chatbot? Then what did they do? What's the remedy?
I mean, it becomes the slowdown in a way, and in a way, right? Even though we have been building bots in a bit, you know, bot can only solve up to a certain level of problems. And recently, if you observe the Facebook Messenger, the mechanism and all that, Facebook upped their game in terms of doing all this automated messaging. So technically, you don't need to have a ManyChat account and all that to do a lot of things. You can actually use the Messenger native feature. Even if you go to the Facebook page, it's good enough. You can actually build conditional reply.
Correct.
If they do this, then you reply this thing and all that. It's already quite robust, if you ask me. So I think,
especially for property, you say you're looking for 3 room, 4 room, 5 room. Where do you want your house? What is your budget? Preview all the thing like a form like that.
They can really build. If they say 2 room, then you lead to another question. 1 room lead to another question. All is good. All is good.
But I think chatbot on website still works for support purposes. But if you say chatbot based on Messenger alone, on that platform, I think it's not so desirable. Chatbot on website, it still works.
I would agree because that kind of chatbot is very much linked to your.
Because it's not tied to Facebook.
Messenger still can ask questions. As in, which room you want? As in, which part of Singapore you want the house? What's your budget? So and so forth. All this. If you spend time answering all these things, you are warm lead really.
But you got to be on the Facebook platform.
And to pre-qualify your leads. I agree. But that's on Facebook. When you're using ads to run all this, then the conditional messaging would definitely help. That's really one thing. However, I will agree with Andrew if we talk about support. But of course, the other day I was just having a discussion. I did a talk to a bunch of manufacturers. They were really keen about exploring the messenger bot or chat bot or of any type. But if you want to go on this route, right, I really want to emphasize on one thing, which is you have to understand why are you building the bot. You know, you don't build a bot for the sake of having a bot, because a lot of times if you don't really understand what kind of question you'll be receiving on your messenger level, and you know what are the problems that you're facing right now, then you build a bot, it may not address the problems. And then at the moment after you build one, you need to reinvent the thing, you know, tweak this and all that. It all involves money. That's why, in a way, you have to have a very clear picture about what you want to do with that. But in my opinion, messenger bot at the moment, they were hit by the 24+1 rule. That's one of a very big hit. That's why when it comes to this year, right, the iOS 14 coming in, I'm not sure whether what do you think about iOS 14? We did not schedule this in one of our topic, but I think people would be interested to find out. But Chee, what are you doing to help your client to prepare for that thing?
I'm still reading up myself, so I have no comment on this for now.
Yeah, the iOS 14 is quite. Already, I'm seeing a few apps are prompting me. The Apple prompt is coming in to prompt me to whether I want to approve or not. But usually, I go allow lah. I'm a very kind person because I do that. But,
advertisers.
yeah. But okay, we have a question from Siobhan over here. Let's take a look at this. Siobhan said, I think this is more on her own experience. She saw a lot of ads on investment, teach online, Pride apps. What is Pride apps?
No idea.
For easy investment, maybe like for easy investment app. Is it an upcoming trend or just because of a search engine result? I think it's more on your behavior. But of course, if you fall under a certain category that, because of your browsing experience, because of your,
website that you visit, because
it could be because of that.
Facebook pixel, then they know that they classified you, and WhatsApp also, not forgetting WhatsApp. So your behavior. The only thing that I think is not affecting is the YouTube behavior. I don't think they're able to pass it over to Facebook lah. I believe all your ads you refer to should be Facebook ads lah.
Yeah. Facebook and website and your browsing experience, as in within Facebook itself. Your
website. I think the pixels they also
Pixel can still pick up. Yes,
pick you up also. But I think you're not alone. I'm also receiving a lot on investment and teaching online. Singapore, this one is a lot, really a lot. And teaching, YouTube also adds also a lot because maybe the pages that I touch. So there's
very likely. So
cool. Thanks for the question, Siobhan. And okay, now this is a very interesting. I mean, as in like in the past 1 year. I mean, okay, that's kind of a thing that I think it could be a very interesting topic where. I mean, in the last 6 months itself, 6 to 7 months, I've actually learned with more than 1,000 people. So in a way, more and more people are learning how to do Facebook ads on their own. And Chee is running an agency. I used to run an agency. What do you think? Do you think when people learn how to do Facebook ads themselves, will the agency's role be affected moving forward?
Well, in a way, especially for SMEs or for even startups or even new traders, whereby they set up a website, they want to promote it, or they'll set up a business, they want to promote it. So let's say, for example, they have a Facebook page. They definitely want to give it a try. What if I'm going to post it for $10 or $20, that kind of thing? So they're definitely hands-on a little bit because number one, probably as starters, they do not have the budget to engage a proper agency to do it. They might end up trying themselves, or they also might end up engaging freelancers like that, probably gonna con or whatever whereby the freelancers will just click on the boost button and that's pretty much it So I get a lot of those kind of clients as well. But when it comes to agencies' role, after they try and if it's not effective, probably they'll start hunting for it, hunting for a proper agency to do it for them. And our role, number one, is of course settle their problems, and do proper setup in the business manager, everything for them, and probably run ads for them. But at the same time, knowledge transfer, meaning if let's say, for example, some of them are SMEs and probably they want to grow the knowledge in-house, probably they want to start training up one of the marketing personnel or marketing exec to actually go for classes and whatever. Then after that, engage another agency at the same time, get things done. At the same time, make sure that this exec actually learns from this agency as well. So our role, besides setting up knowledge, train them. Not like me as an agency, I want to hook you out. I'm not going to transfer anything to you so that you're going to definitely rely on me. My perception is I don't do that. So if I can knowledge transfer, train up whatever in-house, then after that they can grow. Sometimes they will ask me back questions. That's fantastic. Hey, why you do like that? Why you do like that instead of like that? Oh, fantastic. Good. Very good.
It would be good if they can grow. What if they go?
Yeah. What if after that, learn.
Either you grow or you go, is it?
Yeah. I mean, it's not easy to retain this kind of talent, to be frank.
Yeah.
Because the moment they really can grow in this area, they become very, very valuable.
Especially
they can run their own stuff.
Especially digital marketers. I mean, within, as in digital marketers in-house within the company itself. Once they go to a certain level and when they chow, they are highly sought after, actually.
Yeah. Because
I've
personally went through a lot of training with a lot of big organizations, and when these people go out, they are very valuable.
Yes, and that time when I want to post this, hey, you want a chow? How much are you looking
or come over to your place, right?
Then they'll give some figure that, oh, okay, I couldn't afford you. Yeah.
So that's the thing. I would agree. I would say. I mean, if there's anything I learned in the past 10 years running an agency, I would say the best case scenario is definitely like what you mentioned. The client has a person, or at least a person, if not a team, to really train themselves to go over this and become better in this, and they will take over this thing. Not many organizations can really endure this process and do that. On my hand, I have a few coaches that are doing this. But in fact, if you are able to do this in the long run, you save a lot more money.
Oh yes.
A lot more money.
Yeah, it's a long game, rather than engaging in a 4A agency.
And to be frank, if you ask me, I'm not sure. I mean, of course, this could be a different kind of perspective over here, but an agency can never do as good as a job of a good in-house. In a way.
Because they know their own business best.
Correct. So when you have a balance, like what we are doing right now is kind of like a best, in a way, my preferred combination right now. I have trained this team of people that they can already run things on their own, and then they engage me as a coach. Then we will just go through the campaign on a weekly or bi-weekly basis where they know their stuff, but they need me as an external eye to really point them to some, like, okay, this is the thing, let's take a look at tweak at this. Then next week we come back and look at another metrics and do certain tweaks. I think that would be the best case. And that's the reason why I stopped doing agency.
But could agency do the same thing?
Like
basically, agency take a coaching role to these customers instead of, they come in for very technical consulting.
In a way that makes the agency a consulting role rather than an executor.
Then it's no longer an agency.
Yeah.
So you have to take a like I think in a way, of course it can be coexist. It can be both.
Yeah.
But I would say at a certain point, I think it can work.
But it's just another branch of same thing like IBM technically is the largest digital agency apparently, and most of the big fours have also gone into consulting agency business. So my question is, why can't an agency go to consulting?
Yeah, true. It's kind of me. I have switched from agency to consulting.
So instead of done for you, they can still do the done for you. But at the same time, customers who have in-house,
I teach you how to do it. Or I'm sure that
Andrew Frozen. So I mean Andrew Frozen. Oh, he's back. You're back. But it's totally possible, which I have been through, all stages. I think it's possible, but I think it depends on the client's need, what they want. They want an agency or they want a coach. That's kind of pretty much. And then you must be, in fact, two things. When you're running an agency or when you're actually coaching, the eye that you need to put on, the head that you need to put on are actually kind of a different thing. But Joan has a question. As an agency, is it really okay to do only performance marketing and not content? Won't that only restrict to the client's content in your ad and ultimately affect your campaign? What do you think, Chee?
Well,
when you only do performance, mean you only run the ads. You don't do content.
I have several clients where I do both. Whereby I do performance marketing, I measure, and also content and visuals actually come from us. At the same time, there are also certain clients whereby I only do performance marketing, whereby content and everything done in-house, and after that, I make sure that whatever that you give, I go through, okay lah, can use lah. Then only I load it into Business Manager, and then after that I set up everything for you. So I experienced both actually.
So I mean, back to your question, back to the Joan's question, is it okay? I would say definitely okay. I've been doing this for the past like 5-6 years now. Not even have a designer in-house, not even have a freelance designer out there. 100% depending on client, but we comment, like what Chee said, we give suggestions, we give advice, we give, things that can do adjustment. But of course, we need to start with a guideline. I mean, the way I do it is, since I don't do it, I will tell them what are the things that I need, because I have a framework. That's a lot easier for me to actually guide the client, because a lot of agencies don't have a framework. At least we have a framework. At least our two-step funnel is a framework. I'll tell them that I need this. You need to produce this thing for me and all that. So it become a lot easier for us to guide the client. So to Joan's question, I think it's your choice. Depending on what you want to be. The reason why I become only performance is because I want to really become the tip top of this thing. That's it. I don't want to distract myself for a lot of things, because the moment I need to do a lot more, I don't have time to drill deep. I think that's for me.
Really,
that's for me.
That's for me.
Yeah,
my dream is to become the performance marketer side only, actually. Yeah, but it's now no choice. No choice. I have to do both. I have to take care of visuals and
true lah. Well, that's why, Joan. Yeah, it's it's your choice. It's your choice. Yeah. If you can cover that, then it's perfectly okay, because when you cover the content side, you make more money in a way. Which will lead to the next question that we have from Gamers Grow. Gamers Grow, now you have Chee answering a question, and then you have my side, of course, and then you have Manfred's side of he engaging agencies and all that. Different agencies have different way of charging. Okay, so usually, definitely, it's not by campaign basis, unless your campaign is so really like solid and periodical, and it's coming in for a period like that. And of course, it is definitely not on the commission basis. Right? Chee, how do you charge?
Campaign basis.
How? As in how? Really?
Yeah. If I... Okay, let me rephrase it. When you say campaign basis, I've done short campaigns before, 3 months. Yeah, 3 months. What you want to do with 3 months, whether it's an awareness campaign or whether it's like really, really leads kind of thing, or you have or whatever. So short campaigns. Long campaigns, 6 months, 1 year. Yeah. Okay. So what are we going to do within this 1 year? So if it's an existing brand, fine. So what's your objective? Sales lah, in a way, also all the time also sales one. So then we build funnels, we build retargeting, whatever that we can do for them. And usually it's like a retainer based kind of thing, a contract within 3 months, 6 months, or even 1 year, and we lock you down. And each and every month, we invoice. And after that, media buys, of course, is chargeable to the clients. How much you're willing to spend, or how much we advise you think you should spend to achieve whatever. Let's say, for example, Chee, I want 200 leads this month. What can I do with what should I spend? How much should I spend? How many ads should I churn out? Then I reverse calculate and see whether what can I do for you. I've come across commission-based kind of mechanism before, but very hard. Very hard. Your money is based on the success rate of your campaign, in which we as agencies, so sometimes we do not know how well is your product. Sometimes
if you have done it before, then the cost per lead is predictable. Some people actually do charge by performance. I actually come across two main types. One is they charge 20% or 30% of the ad spend. But as
that kind. I was that kind. I no longer take client anyway.
Then the brand will have one question. Then the more I spend, the more you earn. No, correct? No? But you're not serving my needs. No? I want more leads. No. Okay, then another agency actually kind of reached me. Wait, we charge by performance. No? Okay, but one lead $200.
That's different way. I mean, I have a friend who is also doing kind of like an agency. How he charges? He actually, like what Manfred say lah. He do a level, and you say that per lead is maybe like 50 ringgit, for example. So if he's able to achieve maybe 10 ringgit per lead, then he earns 40.
The difference.
Okay.
That's how he does it. So this is also a way. That's why it's entirely up to you what kind of agency that you want to engage. Of course, when you work with me, these kind of people, then okay lah. The more you spend, I mean, there was a time where the client was spending 100,000 a month, so I charged 30% for that. So imagine, so that's the 1 month. So yeah, so this will come across the kind of client that the more I spend, the more you make. Then
the performance, not end of story, you say, okay.
Then you need to prove your value lah.
Yeah, one lead $200. Then you say, hey, what happens if you give me 10 leads? All cannot convert. How?
Then it's not your problem, right?
You think I give you 10 leads, I run myself, 10 account, then 10 leads give you, right?
Or what lead Bangla?
I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, the other side of my friend's case over there, then you might, because his incentive is to get as cheap a lead as possible in order so that he can make the big difference.
Yes.
So then he
probably can convert or not. The
correct,
salesperson will make noise. Wow, this kind of lead. This one not sales qualified lead.
Yeah. Cool.
So you have to balance out.
So it's your choice. In fact, back to Gamer's Crow's question. I think this is a very good question.
In Singapore, most of our cases is all charged by 20%, 30%. Then the sad thing is there are agency in Singapore who get the kind of permissions rate. Then they outsource fiber upwards to third world country to do the job. Then the job is not done properly also. There are some agencies there.
But it will screw up their name more in that case.
Bochap, really
Bochap. So
it's really wild west really.
Okay, that's interesting. So I think we still have questions, but I think it's good enough to wrap this because
wow,
we have
1 hour so far.
Yeah, just like yamming away. We have 1 hour.
Goodness.
So this is how cool, right? So this is how we come together. Now, Manfred, over to you. You want to do a magic?
Magic, yes, magic.
Magic. Okay, so Manfred today don't have website of the week. Yes, the magic of the week.
Okay, can see the screen now?
Wait. I need to bring it up. Okay.
Today is going to be one of the shortest. Wow. Okay.
Wait, you need to show your URL. You're not showing the URL.
Can't see the URL.
Oh, you cannot see the URL for some reason. Can you share the whole screen? I think you need to share the whole screen.
Let me try.
Okay, let me remove this one. You try to bring it up again. Share the whole screen.
The URL. If you don't show your URL,
then it doesn't make sense, man.
I'll show you the entire screen. Share. Is it?
Share. Entire screen. Can I?
Okay, can?
Okay. Hang on. Okay. Wait. Can now. Can.
Oh,
okay.
Right. Okay.
Magic.
3 Marketeers show episode 23, right? So I play.
It's the 3 Marketeers.
Okay. So if you really like our show and you want to save it, a lot of people very mafama, so go and find a download YouTube, right? So I realized, you can see the URL, right?
Can?
So I already put my cursor behind the YouTube. You just put
the .com.
Before the .com, you just put a PP.
Okay.
Enter.
Wow.
Then you can start downloading. Then you can every day watch.
Why 2mate.com?
It's another website. It's another website. It's not YouTube.
Yeah, it's not YouTube already. So basically, I say again, I go back again for people who are slightly slower.
Yeah.
So basically, you are at YouTube, right? YouTube.com, right? So
correct.
you go to the .com before .com. You just put a PP. I don't know why PP. Okay, then you press enter.
It's their website lah.
Then you direct to this Y2Make. Then you can start downloading already.
Awesome way.
Awesome,
I like this.
Okay.
I'm using a third-party software to actually do this. I mean, like Windows software, which does the same thing. Whereby once you copy and paste the URL there, you will then reverse pass the URL value, and then after that, let you choose between either video or audio only. Then after out of the video, MP4, MKV. Then after that, the resolution all the way up to 4K or 8. Usually
is that. But you need to open a new tab. But now our friend can actually do this at a quick trick. Just add the PP after the YouTube, then done.
Without installing things. This is like ripping.
Anyway, when you download a video, you're ripping.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah. So Siobhan say good trick. Thanks, Manfred, for this. So that's all we have for today.
You get it for the first time.
Yeah, we really need to thank Chee for being here with us. You know,
you do come back more often.
Yeah, come back more often. Prepare for a while, right?
I got several potential new wows already. Yeah.
Oh, really? Then okay lah. You can
come back more
when you're free. Then come over lah. We can actually find more topics. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. This is the Three Marketeers Show. I'm your host Jason. We have Andrew as my co-host Manfred and Chee as our guest today. And this is what we do every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. We go live for an hour to yam away for an hour.
If you cannot sleep, just turn on the phone, turn on the Facebook, listen to us.
Wow, seriously. I mean, okay lah. At least I can make you sleep. Then it's an honor. Thank you so much.
Okay, we're gonna shake a bit.
Okay, so next week we have somebody to talk about. She has a framework to help you do storytelling and selling on Instagram. So do tune in next week if you want to learn how to really do storytelling and selling on Instagram. And until then, enjoy the rest of the week and your weekend. See you next week, guys. Thank you so much.
Good evening.
See you next week. Good evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.